Hello there. Today we will go through the second part of the previous video titled, Did Obi-Wan know about Anakin and Padmé's relationship? Let's continue. Padmé blinked as though he had slapped her. Why? That seems unlikely, doesn't it? What about this prophecy the Jedi put so much faith in? Isn't he the chosen one? Very probably. But I have scanned this prophecy. It says only that a chosen one will be born and bring balance to the Force. Nowhere does it say he has to be a Jedi. She blinked harder, fighting down a surge of desperate hope that left her breathless. He doesn't have to? My master, Qui-Gon Jinn, believed that it was the will of the Force that Anakin should be trained as a Jedi, and we all have a certain, I suppose you could call it a Jedi-centric bias. It is a Jedi prophecy after all. But the will of the Force, isn't that what Jedi follow? Well, yes. But you must understand that not even the Jedi know all there is to be known about the Force. No mortal mind can. We speak of the will of the Force as someone ignorant of gravity might say it is the will of a river to flow to the ocean. It is a metaphor that describes our ignorance. The simple truth, if any truth is ever simple, is that we do not truly know what the will of the Force may be. We can never know. It is so far beyond our limited understanding that we can only surrender to its mystery. What does this have to do with Anakin? She swallowed, but her voice stayed tight and thin. And with me, I fear that some of his current difficulty has to do with your relationship. If you only knew how much, she thought. What do you want me to do? He looked down. I cannot tell you what to do, Padmé. I can only ask you to consider Anakin's best interests. You know the two of you can never be together while he remains in the Order. Obi-Wan, I can't talk about this. Very well. But remember that the Jedi are his family. The Order gives his life structure. It gives him a direction. You know how undisciplined he can be. Yes. Yes, of course. If his true path leads him away from the Jedi, so be it. But please, for both of your sakes, tread carefully. Be sure. Some decisions can never be reversed. Yes, she said slowly, feelingly, I know that too well. He nodded as though he understood, though of course he did not understand at all. We all do these days. A soft chiming came from within his robe. Excuse me, he said, and turned aside, producing a comlink from an inner pocket. Yes? A man's voice came thinly through the comlink, deep and clipped. We are calling the council into special session. We've located General Grievous. Thank you, Master Windu. Obi-Wan said. I'm on my way. General Grievous? Her eyes went hot, and stung with sudden tears. And so they would take Anakin away from her again. She felt a stirring below her ribs. Away from us, she amended, and there was so much love and fear and joy and loss all swirling and clashing within her that she dared not speak. She only stared blindly out across the smog-shrouded cityscape as Obi-Wan came close to her shoulder. Padmé, he said softly, gently, almost regretfully, I will not tell the council of this, any of it. I'm very sorry to burden you with this, and I hope I haven't upset you too much. We have all been friends for so long, and I hope we always will be. Thank you, Obi-Wan, she said faintly. She couldn't look at him. From the corner of her eye she saw him incline his head respectfully and turn to go. For a moment she said nothing, but as his footsteps receded she said, Obi-Wan? She heard him stop. You love him, too, don't you? When he didn't answer, she turned to look. He stood motionless, frowning, in the middle of the expanse of buff carpeting. You do? You love him? He lowered his head. He looked very alone. Please do what you can to help him, he said, and left.